What is up, friends? Johnny Two Cellos here to review some more Steven Universe.
Johnny Two Cellos!
This episode is called Raising the Barn, and even though the title is a pun, it also ends up being super literal. The episode picks up where the last leaves off, with Steven waiting for Connie to call him back. I really loved Steven's reaction to his ringing phone after he starts playing his ukulele here.
I wish I could tell you that
This was just so relatable to me. Anxiously waiting for a text or call and doing anything to try to distract yourself and pass the time, but really all you're thinking about is the text that will never come. Super accurate portrayal right there. It was really nice to have a Lapis and Peridot-centric episode, though it was pretty upsetting to see Lapis shift from happy and carefree to anxious and panicky. When Steven first answered their call, she seemed so calm and happy to talk to Steven, and as soon as Steven mentions what happened, she freaks out. And I guess that's understandable. Lapis has felt the wrath of Homeworld on a much, much larger scale than anybody else. She decides that she and Peridot need to leave Earth, and Peridot is clearly reluctant. She's really grown attached to Earth, and Lapis, as much as I love her, has really remained detached for the most part. As a sort of compromise with Peridot, Lapis levitates the entire barn with her waterbending and offers to take the entire thing with them into space. Peridot still seems pretty uneasy, but the whole thing is interrupted when Pumpkin goes missing. Steven and Peridot search for him, which leads to some fun moments. In particular, I loved seeing Onions selling onions. Peridot also reveals how agitated Lapis was when she learned Steven was on Homeworld, which makes sense. As I said before, she probably knows the horrors of Homeworld better than most. They find that Pumpkin was actually just hiding, and as soon as they find him, Lapis immediately tries to leave Earth again. Peridot reluctantly tells Lapis that she wants to stay on Earth and begs Lapis to stay with her.
Earth is our home now. Isn't it worth fighting for?
I do not think she expected Lapis's response, though.
I am not getting caught in the middle of another war.
Lapis refuses to be involved in another gem war, and she flies into space with the barn. I think the fact that Lapis took the barn is definitely telling. Initially, she only planned to take it with her as a compromise with Peridot so that she would have some of her comforts from Earth. She decided to take it even without Peridot, taking Peridot's comforts with her, literally and metaphorically. I think Lapis is more attached to Earth than she realizes. She took the barn for her own comforts. Lapis is one of my favorite gems, and it truly bums me out that she's bailing on the crystal gems again. I really wanted her and Peridot to become full-fledged crime-fighting crystal gems, but we haven't gotten that at all. I'm very interested to see how they bring her back. Maybe she'll have a change of heart and realize she really does want to help the gems defend Earth, or maybe we won't see her again until our next space adventure. It's hard to say, but I have a feeling that her return will be epic. Overall, I really dug this episode. I like episodes that focus on Lapis and Peridot, though this was probably the last we'll see of Lapis for a while, which does bum me out. With Peridot moving into Steven's bathroom and spending more time with the crystal gems, maybe we'll get to see her flourish a little more on Earth and come into her own as a team member. I sure would love to see her fighting alongside the gems more. Or maybe we'll finally get that Peridot-Garnet fusion they teased us with. Either way, I think this will end up being good for Peridot, even if it means we don't get to see Lapis for a while. Alright folks, thank you guys so much for tuning into this Steven Universe review. The next review should be available soon if it isn't already, so please stay tuned, and of course remember to comment, like, subscribe.
Johnny Two Cellos!